I found my son's burner phone, and the text made me call the police on my own brother. My son left his backpack on the kitchen counter when he got home from school. I was just moving it out of the way when a phone I'd never seen before slid out of the front pocket and hit the tile floor. The screen lit up with a notification from someone saved as Uncle D that read, "Same time tonight. Don't tell anyone. Delete this after you read it." My brother Danny had been living with us for 6 months after his divorce. He was supposed to be getting back on his feet, helping with the yard work, being a good influence on my 13-year-old son Aiden. They'd gotten close over the summer, movie nights in the basement, video games until midnight. I thought it was good for both of them. Danny needed family. Aiden needed a male role model who wasn't always working late. I stood there staring at that phone, my chest tightening like a fist was squeezing my lungs. There had to be an explanation. Maybe it was about a surprise birthday party. Maybe they were planning something for my wife's anniversary. I opened the message thread and scrolled up, telling myself I'd find something innocent. The messages went back 3 months, hundreds of them. Danny had bought Aiden this phone himself and paid for the service. "This is our secret line," one early message said. "Your parents don't understand what we have. They'd try to ruin it." My hands started shaking so hard I nearly dropped the phone. The texts got worse the further I scrolled. Danny was giving Aiden money, $50 here, $100 there, always with conditions attached. "You earned this tonight. Good boy. Our little secret." Remember what happens to kids who tell? I wanted to throw up right there in the kitchen. I kept scrolling anyway, praying I was misunderstanding something, praying there was context I was missing that would make this all make sense, but there wasn't. The language was unmistakable. My brother had been grooming my son for months, right under my roof, at my dinner table. While I thanked him for being such a great uncle and poured him another beer, the most recent text was from this morning. "Meet me in the basement at midnight. Where would I got you? Leave your regular phone upstairs." I checked the time on the kitchen clock. It was 11:43 p.m. My brother was in the guest room downstairs. My son was in his bedroom upstairs. I had less than 20 minutes before whatever Danny had planned was supposed to happen. I didn't confront Danny right away. I needed proof he couldn't deny or explain away. I needed documentation that would hold up. I took screenshots of every single message and sent them to my own phone. Then I photographed the burner phone itself, showing the contact saved as Uncle D. I saved everything to the cloud. Only then did I walk upstairs like nothing was wrong. Aiden was in his room with his door closed. I knocked twice and opened it slowly, trying to keep my face neutral. He was sitting on his bed wearing clothes I'd never seen before. Designer jeans that cost more than my weekly grocery bill. A gold chain around his neck. New sneakers still in the box beside his dresser. His face went completely white when he saw me holding the burner phone. "Dad, I can explain." His voice cracked on the last word. I crossed the room and sat on the bed, pulling him against my chest before he could say anything else. "This isn't your fault," I said quietly. "Not a single part of it. The only person in trouble is him." His whole body started shaking with sobs. He told me Danny said I'd hate him if I ever found out. Danny said nobody would believe him over a grown man. Danny said he'd ruined our family and it was all his fault. I told him to stay in his room, lock the door, and not come out for anyone except me. Then I walked into the hallway and called 911. I explained everything to the dispatcher in the calmest voice I could manage while my hands trembled against the phone. She told me units were already being dispatched and to avoid any confrontation until they arrived. I hung up and walked downstairs anyway. Danny was sprawled on the couch watching some late-night talk show like he didn't have a care in the world. He looked up at me and smiled his usual lazy smile. "Hey bro, you're up late. Want a beer?" I held up the burner phone so he could see the screen. His smile disappeared like someone had flipped a switch. His voice went ice cold. "Where did you get that?" I pulled out my own phone and showed him the screenshots. Every message, every timestamp, every sick word he'd written to my child. "I have everything," I said. "Every message, every payment, every threat. It's already with the police." He stood up slowly from the couch, his hands balling into fists at his sides. Aiden's confused. "Kids exaggerate. You know how he is." I heard sirens cutting through the quiet neighborhood, getting closer. "You're done." Danny lunged across the room trying to grab my phone. I shoved him backward with both hands and he tripped over the coffee table, crashing hard onto the hardwood floor. That's when the front door exploded inward. 2 officers rushed into the living room with their weapons drawn, flashlight beams cutting through the dim light. Danny scrambled to his feet and bolted toward the back door, but an officer tackled him before he made it 5 steps. They forced him face down onto the floor while he screamed that I was making a mistake, that I was destroying our family over a misunderstanding, that Aiden would never forgive me for this. I watched them cuff my older brother, the same person who taught me to ride a bike, who was best man at my wedding, who I trusted completely with my son. I felt nothing but cold, burning rage. Danny got 18 years. Aiden started therapy the following week and told investigators everything, including that I wasn't the first family Danny had done this to.